everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't wait. Get this thing going. Hit the like button. Definitely share the video. Leave a comment. Comments are important, like I always say. I always try to, engage with everybody that leaves a comment, talk to you, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, so we can get better. And if you haven't grabbed the book, Blood on the Razor Wire, make sure you get it. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get an autographed copy directly from us. And all the proceeds from the book definitely go to support the channel and support the mission. Today we're going to do a video on some of the most dangerous beatings I've seen in prison. These aren't, things where people are beat with locks or hit with bats or hit with sticks. Yeah, they got bats too, baseball field. Or people that are hit with block on a sock or on a belt. No, we're just going to talk about people that just get beat down in prison. Things that I witnessed, not things that, I think happened or anything like that, but things that I actually seen. One of the most dangerous beatings that I had seen was at the hands of my cellie. Dude that was my cellmate when we were in USP Coleman. His name was Jason. And let me tell you a little bit about Jason. Jason was a young man that was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison for methamphetamine. He had a methamphetamine case out in Illinois. But the crazy part about Jason's story is, and I'm going to show you a picture of him here in a second, is Jason was manufacturing meth and one of the things blew up. One of the canisters, whatever he was doing, blew up. And it blew his eyes out. Yeah, blew this dude's eyes out. Here he is. This is a picture of Jason. Look at his eyes right there, right? Can you see him? Blew both of his eyes out, ends up with 25 years in prison. He goes to prison. He's got a couple kids. His kid's mother, she overdoses, getting high. She dies. Kids are left without a mother, without a father. Sad. So before we get into the story, if you're a mother or you're a father, today's the day, man, if you're on the wrong path to change. Not for you, but for your kids, man. Let them be the priority. Make sure that they don't grow up motherless or fatherless. That's important. It's an important part of the message. So me and Jason were in USP Coleman. We're cellies. And there's one dude, he's kind of like plays the guitar. He's got long, scraggly hair, glasses. Really, the dude's a lame. Anybody that's been to federal prison, you know who we refer to as lames, right? The dude's like really a nobody, man. But he tries to act like he's a tough guy. One of them dudes like one of your uncles that been in and out of prison all their life. Once in a while they come to the family reunion, they get drunk. They probably drink beer like Natural Ice or Old Milwaukee's Best. That's what this dude was like, man. And he had a cellie. And his cellie had some big, thick glasses. There was a problem with the sewer system, man. Sewer system backed up, flooded everywhere. And what happens is, the dude blames his cellie. He says, man, you got the toilet backed up, man. You messed the cell up. And he's just being real nasty, man. He slaps the old man that's his cellie, right? This old scraggly white dude. He's probably about 45 years old, scraggly looking. He slaps his cellie. Well, his cellie's kind of lame too. Like he's got a little limp and he's got some thick glasses. He slaps him. Then he starts punching him. Knocks the dude's glasses off, smashes the dude's glasses. At this point, man, I'm furious. I'm pissed off. Jason's pissed off. Jason can't see that well. He had both of his eyes blown out. He had eye transplants. And he says to me, you know what? He said, I'm smashing that dude today. I said, you're going to smash him? What's up? You going to smash him in the cell? You want to, pretty much you want to get him together? What do you want to do? He's like, no, man, I'm going to do it myself. He said, when he goes to the band room today, I'm going in there and I'm fucking that dude up. He said, I just want you to come over there and make sure I'm all right. And I'm like, man. I'm kind of like trying to brush this thing off where I don't necessarily want to go over to the band room. Honestly, at the time, I think Jason's faking. I think he's just talking to talk. Capping, like people say, right? I thought he was faking, but he was serious. So that afternoon, we go over to the recreation department. Dude's in the band room. He's playing the guitar. And Jason walks in there, and he tells the dude, man, let me see the guitar. He takes the guitar, he starts playing a little bit, he sets it down. And Jason hit this dude so hard. It was unbelievable. And Jason's probably about 6'1". You can see from the pictures, I don't know if you can tell how tall he is. He works out all the time. A bunch of push-ups, bunch of burpees, pull-ups, homemade weights. Jason's the type of dude that's lost, man. He's in prison and lost with all his time, don't know what to do with himself. thinks he wants to work out. He wants to, better his life. But there were times when Jason started drinking. And that's one of the things that was happening that day. Jason was drinking, goes over to that band room, and he hit this dude with a knockout punch. Boom, he hits the dude. Dude falls down. The dude tries to get up, and Jason's just pounding on this dude, man. Pounding on him. Dude's out. He's on the ground, bleeding. There's blood everywhere in the band room. Everywhere. Jason walks out. He says, you know what? I ain't done with that motherfucker. And he goes back in there. Dude's kind of like getting up now. And I remember the dude being on his knees, like hunched over on his hands. And Jason hit him from underneath. Boom. And now, I mean, he's just pounding this dude, man. And when I say blood everywhere, blood everywhere. So what I do is I go in there and I pull Jason off the dude, because this is one of the times in prison where I literally thought to myself that Jason was about to kill this dude, man. This dude is dead. And when I pulled Jason out of there, the dude was just laying on the ground on his back. Blood everywhere, glasses busted, and unconscious. And I remember looking at the dude through the glass. And when I look at him through the glass, I say to myself, this dude's dead, man. Jason killed this dude. So, then about 10 minutes, they call the go back. Cops going around getting people to go back. He sees the dude. He thinks the dude's dead too. Hits the deuces. I hear it over the radio when I'm walking through the metal detector that they think they got a dead prisoner in the band room. I make it back to the unit. Jason makes it back to the unit. What do you think happens next? You guessed it. The cops come in. They lock us up. They take me to the hole. I spent 33 days in the hole because I went in that room and pulled Jason off that dude. The dude ended up living. He ended up getting a transfer out of the prison. But that was a vicious, vicious beating, man. And that's something that people should know, that there are places in prison, there are blind spots. There are places where, bad things happen to people, man. And the cops are not there to save you. I promise you that. And most of the cops could care less. So sometimes in prison, you got to think about the things that you're doing. You got to think about the decisions that you're making. That dude was trying to bully some old white dude, man. Slapped him, treated him like he wasn't shit. And really, he did it for no reason. And it angered me, it angered Jason. But Jason was the dude that took the initiative to go in there and handle that business, so to speak. Jason went in there, he handled that business. Destroyed this dude. One of the worst beatings I ever seen. That was at USP Coleman. Another beating that I seen, I spoke briefly about it the other day. And honestly, I'm just going to keep it real. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. This dude shows up on the compound at USP Lee, Jonesville, Virginia, right? Lee was a place where I've seen people stabbed, I've seen people killed, but most of the time in Lee County, USP Lee, bad things happen to people that are looking for it. And this dude right off the bus was looking for it. He was from, I want to say, Chicago. They called him Kid. He was a Spanish dude, kind of tall, acted like he was the toughest dude on the compound as soon as he got off the bus. That's a big no-no. It's a big mistake to walk into a prison and act like you're the baddest dude on the compound, I used to say, man, look at this dude, man. He's too hard for the yard. Like angry, got that look. And usually 99% of the time, those dudes are actually soft inside. When you pull their card, it's over with. And that's what happened with Kid, man. Kid was going around gambling, selling his sneakers, faking, acting like he was that dude, like he had money. He was getting all kinds of credit. And eventually he couldn't pay his debt at the poker table. Couldn't pay his debt with, the man that was selling the dope. Couldn't pay it. So these dudes went to, and Kid was a dope fiend too, on the low. These dudes went to their shot callers like, yo, look, man, this is what the deal is, right? This dude owes money over here, he owes money over there. And his homeboy said, look, man, we're going to take care of it. It's going to be paid. And one night, on the yard, within 2 or 3 days, what happens is the homeboys get on him. He's out there with Timberlands on. And this tough-ass dude, and I know you've seen it before. You've been there, you've seen it, you lived it. This dude started running. I remember him running, man. I looked at this dude. You ever watch some National Geographic videos where them antelopes are being chased by lions? I'm watching this dude run, man. He looked like an antelope. Big old legs, tall, running across the yard. They catch him. They catch him on the back wall. And when they catch him on the back wall, man, they just viciously beat this dude, man. They viciously beat this dude. I remember this dude trying to get up and just, you ever see somebody punch drunk? They try to get up and they fall down. They get up, they fall back down. Without you even hitting them, man. They're just been hit so many times they can't even walk. Their mind's telling them to do something, but their body won't go. Their body won't do what their mind says. Vicious beatings in prison, man. Believe me, they happen. You can lose your life in there. It's a serious situation. It's a serious place. It's a place where only the strong survive. And sometimes the strong get eaten alive too. You know, they ended up taking kid out of there on a stretcher, man. He ended up living, but they took him out of there on a stretcher. USP Lee. Seen a lot of beatings at USP Lee. There was another one where this dude in the North Carolina car, right? Disrespecting people. Big dude. Big dude. It's going to be hard to take this guy out. Big dude. So what they do is they take the dude, tell him, look, homie, you've been disrespecting people, man. I know you're always out here working out. We're going to punish you by making you do 500 burpees, and you got to run 20 laps. It was the way out, right? Sometimes people want a way out. The shot callers wanted a way out. Dude wanted a way out. So that's what they do. They make this dude work out for 2-3 hours. He's all tired. He's all sweaty. And then the shot caller pulls the trigger. It was all a ploy, man. They got 3 or 4 dudes jump on this dude. They waited till he was dead tired after he had worked out. Muscles are all sore. Can't swing his arms. And they viciously beat this dude, man. Beat him bad. Knock him down. Kick him in the face. Jumping on his head. Vicious, man. Just a bad, bad beat. Just beat the brakes off this dude. Crazy, right? You think it can't happen? Some of the toughest dudes end up leaving prison on stretchers, man. I mean that. 100%. Some of the toughest dudes end up leaving a prison on a stretcher. And it's not even knives. It's not even weapons. They just beat you mercilessly. And you know there's a rule in a maximum security federal prison with most cars. And that rule is you keep fighting. You keep beating this person until the cops come. There ain't no you beat them and then you stop and you guys shake hands and you're friends again. That ain't how it works, man. You just keep beating them until the cops come and you go to the hole or, whatever. Dude dies, whatever happens, happens. That's just kind of how that thing goes. I'll give you another story about one of the homies, man, from New York. We're in USP Lee. Kid hangs out with me and one of my homeboys named Chiz, man. Kid's name's Oskino. He's a blood. A bunch of stuff happened with the Bloods over there. Maryland Bloods came in, wanted to try to take over on the New York dudes. One of the dudes had hot grease thrown in his face, ran out of the unit, screaming. They walked him into that one. We'll do a video on that too. The hot oil in the face in prison video. They're beefing. So the kid Oskino's like, look, man, I'm from New York. He's a blood. I want to say Oskino was Dominican. And, he talked tough all the time. He was all right dude, man. We used to do crazy stuff. Remember, we were young when we went in there, man. We did some things we weren't supposed to do. We'd wrestle and all kinds of shit. You ain't supposed to do that type of shit in prison. But once in a while, we'd get crazy and do crazy shit. So Oskino was one of my boys, man. One of my partners, man. Good friend of mine. And he's like, look, man, I got major problems with these dudes because they had took most of the New York dudes off the yard. And Oskino was left. Oskino was just a little fella, man. He had that little man syndrome. Talked like he was the toughest man in the prison, too. But I happen to like this kid. And what happens is this. He comes to me, he's like, Chad, man, I need a knife, man. I'm not giving this kid my knife, right? I can't do it. So really, we take a little broom that you sweep your cell with, man. And I show him how to make a knife in about 8 minutes. Knife is made. He's going to the rec yard. Next day, he goes to the rec yard. What do you think he does with the knife? He leaves it in the unit. He's standing on the wall. Got his foot up. And what they do is they hit him. Boom! And when they hit him, he hit his head on the wall. Bang! Knocked him out, man. Cold knocked him out. They kick him, punch him a couple times while he's on the ground. They take his sneakers. Took his sneakers right off his feet. He's laid out in a federal prison on the concrete like this. Eyes closed. And they take his sneakers off him, man. And what happens next? They let him wake up. They go over and beat on him some more. And eventually Oskino, he leaves the yard with no sneakers on, man. He walked off the yard with no shoes. Could you imagine that? Getting beat up, knocked out. What does that do to your pride, man? And they take your shoes, man. Your own homeboys, man. These dudes were bloods, man. New York set and Baltimore, Maryland set, and they just knocked him out and took his stuff. But in the end, it didn't work out for the Baltimore dudes. I'm going to keep it real. The New York Bloods ended up getting at them dudes, and things happened. But what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story stays the same. That is, it's time to change your life. Unless you want to live like that. Trust me, man. Toughest dudes in the world, man, get victimized in prison. You'd be surprised, man. The toughest dude in your neighborhood might be the softest dude in the prison when he gets there. Real tough guys, man. These ain't no part-time tough guys. These ain't no fake tough guys. These are real tough guys in there. These are dudes that are willing to do things that maybe you might not be willing to do. These are dudes that are living in a jungle, man. And in their mind, they believe that the life that they're living is the life that they have to live. And that's why the prison machine keeps recycling. That's why the prison machine keeps chewing people up. Prison will chew you up and spit you out. Prison will destroy you in every way, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You see dudes go in there and come out all worked out, big. But I can promise you that there have been many lonely nights. There have probably been many nights where they went to bed hungry. You don't want to be that dude, man. You don't want to be that chick either. Definitely trying to get some chicks on the show so we can give you guys some of their perspective. But just think about going to prison, right? Like Jason with no eyes. When I first met Jason, it was in the kitchen, and I was like, damn, I don't even want to eat next to this dude. And eventually we ended up becoming cellies. But could you imagine going to prison with your eyes blown out? You had eye transplants and you can hardly see. And you know, there was a point where Jason had given up on his life. He started drinking all the time, and I was that dude that told him, hey, bro, they're going to change the law. You're going to keep drinking. You're going to keep catching shots. You're going to keep doing this, keep doing that. And you're never going to get out of prison, homie. He laughed at me. He said, oh, they ain't changing shit. His eyes are all messed up. And eventually, guess what happened? They changed the law. Guess who Jason reached out to recently? To me. I'm doing his case for free. I'm going to try to get him out of jail. But you don't want to be that dude sitting there with a 25-year sentence praying that you could somehow get out of prison. Trust me. Don't take your freedom for granted. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it's a serious thing. It's a real thing. It's something that you will forever miss. Sitting in prison, those years are forever lost. You can never get them back. Those years with your son or with your daughter, they're gone. There's no replacing them. You never get it back. It's gone. Gone in the wind. Gone forever. Right now, you want to be that dude out there getting money because it's good. And man, take them skills you got. You're a businessman. Take them and apply them to something different. You're a businessman if you're out there selling dope, if you're selling drugs, riding around in that nice car. Why can't you learn the stock market? Why can't you put a business together? You can do it, man. I know you can. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. And I believe in you and don't even know you, but I know that you have potential. All people have potential, man. Change your life before you're in that guitar room, or before you're on that basketball court getting stabbed in prison, or before you're riding out of prison on a gurney to an ambulance, looking up at the sky and wondering if this is it. If this is how your life is this how your life's going to end? I've been through too much for my story to end like that. And I'm sure you have too. Until tomorrow, we're out. Blood on the Razor Wire TV.